everyone, and welcome back to Sex with Kat and Mark. We've got a lot to talk about this week.
We do.
So, Mark, how was your week?
My week? What have I been up to? So, I got a bit of an interesting story about our friend. I don't know the name we call him, but maybe we go by Jay.
Jay's very famous on this show.
Exactly.
Like, you guys don't know who he is, but like he's in majority of the stories that we have that are sex related.
Exactly. I feel like he should be on the podcast.
I know.
This
is the same guy that like everyone knows him from this story, which is the foursome story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that guy.
Yeah. This is the guy. So we went out with him and a bunch of our friends on the weekend. Went to this like awesome like warehouse party. It was pretty fucking sick. But essentially, he comes with a bunch of girls, all right? And one of these girls, she's pretty flirtatious. She's chatting to him all night. So I'm like, okay, something's going down, right? Something's going to happen. Next minute, end of the night, we go back to his place for like afters, essentially. So I've got a girl with me. I'm taking back. Like he's got his girl is there. But next minute, this girl is arm in arms with another guy. So another guy, and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, we're going back to Jay's. And I'm like, but with another guy? She's like, yep. Like the audacity of this girl.
What?
So
are you serious?
Yeah, we walk into afters and she just got like this random guy there.
That she was planning on shagging at the guy's house who brought her out.
Yeah, it was so fucking random.
And Jay would have been expecting to be
he was
fucking this girl, right?
Fucking, of course.
And she brought.
And so we're all sitting around.
It wasn't for like a threesome?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. And it was like end of the night. I think she just met him at the end.
Who brings someone to just someone else's house, even if it's not like, okay, one, it obviously makes it worse that they were like supposed to be together. Mm-hmm. But like you wouldn't even do that to like just any person.
100%. Like imagine I was just like coming over and I'm just bringing like random people to your place.
If you just walked in today with like a random girl.
Hey, by the way, I'm just bringing someone to the podcast. Like you'd be like, you could have let me know, right? Like it's just fucking random. So we're all sitting around like semi-awkward, like who the fuck is this guy? So yeah, I felt a little bit bad for Jay, but I think he probably ended up with another girl or two that night anyway. So I'm sure he's not too unhappy. But I was just sitting there thinking like, who the fuck does this? But yeah, she had the balls. She was like, fuck it, I'll bring a random guy to this guy's house. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah,
like I don't know. I'm a little bit impressed.
I was like, that is incredibly rude. But at the same time, nice work.
I know. It's
kind of ballsy. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit into that.
I'm not sure how I feel.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, how was your week? What's been happening?
My week was it was pretty good. So very exciting news. I was on the cover of FHM France.
Let's go.
Yes.
France.
May 2023. I know your favorite. May 2023 FHM cover girl. Katija Cortez.
Congratulations.
I know, like a 6-page spread and everything.
Damn.
And spoiler alert, I am going to be, so I've got another magazine feature coming up.
Which one?
I can't.
Can you tell us which one?
I can tell you off air, but I can't really.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to talk about these things like before it comes out.
Probably not.
But I'm going to be nude in a magazine.
Hey, getting the gear off. Okay.
I know. I've never done a nude photo shoot ever. And now I'm going to be in a magazine fully nude.
Yeah, congrats.
I know.
All right. First thing you should be doing is your Tinder profile. Is you're putting it up there. French FHM model cover girl.
Like international cover girl was already, it was on my bio basically straight away.
Yeah.
Which actually, so this, I want to talk about something. So it's to do with like magazines and things.
Yep.
So, well, all right. I don't even know how to say it, but so with magazines and things,
interested, yeah.
Does that increase one's value or attractiveness?
Fuck yeah. Okay.
So am I now more valuable to
you have to
the male
realize,
species?
everyone listening, men are superficial pieces of shit and I'm one of them, okay? If you tell me you're an international fucking cover girl or model or some shit, yeah.
And I've got proof. Like if I show you, if I like am talking to a guy and I'm like, oh, look at this cover.
Hand me your magazine. Yeah, I mean, I find it sexy. It's like, for me, it's okay. You've established yourself. Other people find you attractive. You've like, whether we want to admit it or not, we care about what other people think. We're like very social creatures. And so as men, if other men or if other women find you attractive, then just there's a shortcut in my mind where like, oh, she must be like extra hot. Like it turns something on. It's like, I'm sure if you see guys with boyfriends, you probably find them a little bit more attractive than if they're standing there by themselves, right?
Guys with boyfriends?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is like if you see a guy at a bar and maybe he's around a bunch of girls and all the girls are laughing, and they're like, you probably, whether you realize it or not, find that guy a little bit more attractive than the guy at the bar standing by himself.
Well, I do definitely find a guy more attractive depending on their job.
Yeah, I know. Listen,
depending on how many
the job,
dollar signs are here. Like, if he's like, I'm the CEO of this like tech startup or something, I'm like, ding.
Katija's attraction is just like, what? But what's his job, Mark? Stop
Yeah, like,
talking
how
about
much money
pre-selection. Stop talking about it. Does he have a good job or not? Okay.
Yeah, so I vibe with that.
Okay. See, guys aren't as superficial. Okay, we also care about if you're on magazine covers.
Okay. But like, okay, so is it specifically magazines, or does this work like, so if I just say like I'm a model.
Nah, fuck that. Listen, if you just tell me, hey Marcus, I'm a model.
And I did like a few catalogs or something.
No. Straight up, I'm assuming what you mean by model
is like catwalk?
Is not. Oh. No. When you tell me model as a girl, this is what I first think. I think, okay, you have an Instagram account where some friends took some photos of you and you put them up on Instagram and now you're calling yourself a model. Or you've done like a portfolio before. That's what I think of when I hear model, unless a girl actually clarifies and says what type of modeling she does, where she's been, what she's done. If you just tell me model, I'm a model, I'm questioning.
So how would I sell it then? Should I just like... Well, so what I've got in my bio is international cover model.
That's better.
Well,
that's much better. Okay, as long as you're not like Instagram influencer or something, like then I'm just like, come on,
yeah,
stop
okay,
it. Yeah. That's for me anyway. I'm not talking for all the guys, all right, but for me, that's it's kind of sexy. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah. So congratulations.
All right. Yeah. So not my head getting big over here.
Yeah. Is it fitting in the frame? Do you need to zoom out a little bit over there? Yeah, it's true though. Yeah.
So I've been seeing. So all right, I want your take on something. This is actually something that you'll probably start. Well, you're not really in the Twitter sphere much, but I'm sure like you've heard of this, and this is a very big talking point, like at the moment, just in general. AI. But AI porn.
AI porn.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of like AI kind of nudes and things on Twitter, and a lot of people just talking about AI porn on Twitter just in general.
ChatGPT getting sexy with it, yo.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on AI porn? Like, because it's happening now. Like, so I haven't actually watched any AI porn, but from what I'm understanding from Twitter is I've seen the AI girls, like the naked ones and stuff on Twitter. They still look quite animated. I think
you can still tell.
You can tell it's not real. Okay. But from what I also understand is apparently there are like. I don't know what platforms these are using. I think this is like more in like, like Japan and stuff where it's like a little bit like tech is a bit bigger there. But apparently there are like AI girls already now like that are personalities that people are like following and like basically like OnlyFans, but for an AI specific girl.
Interesting.
So that exists now.
People having like AI girlfriends.
Oh yeah, that happens now. Yeah, so you can have like virtual girlfriends in like this is all kind of happening right now in like mainly just kind of Japan and like those kind of places. But I mean, it's going to be Japan's like they're a few years in front of us. But if it's happening there now, it's going to not long until it starts happening here.
It's going to be crazy because right now you could probably tell it's a little bit fake.
Yeah, you can.
What happens when we get to the point, Kat, where it's so real?
But do you think we'll ever get to a point where it's like really real?
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't think we're that far away. I think give it a few years, it's going to start feeling really real. I think like getting it to the point where the people don't look so animated, where you look at it and you think, oh, that's real. Even if you're just like changing the faces, even now it's almost at that point. I think that's going to be really close. And then getting to the point where there's like haptic feedback where like you can actually feel the touch and things like that. That's going to get to that point.
So I think, who was it? Was it?
I think Miles Long was talking.
Yeah, Miles was talking about that in his interview, and I know Kiara Edwards, when we had her on, she said she shot a porno in AI.
Like VR, like virtual reality,
in VR. Yeah. I don't know how. I feel like some guys will definitely be into it. Like maybe the ones that aren't too phased about things like emotional connection if they just want to watch Lana Rhoades for the rest of their life. Yeah. And let's just say she's old, she's retired, whatever. And they're like, no, I want to watch just her for forever. I guess you can do that with like AI. But
beyond that, you could pick like any famous person. Like if you're actually using AI, you could pick any famous person and have them in your porn, or even like just mold it to what you want. Like you could probably create your own character, create their own, like it's going to get crazy.
But I feel like we had a similar thing, like when I used to do accounting, we used to talk about like AI taking over jobs all the time. But what we ended up realizing as time kind of went on and like all these new technologies were coming out is that people still like to deal with people. So I think there will still be elements where, okay, maybe some guys will be into it, but overall, like we honestly thought like, yeah, like lots of these things would like take away from our jobs, but all these things did was they just made our jobs more interesting and better because we were doing more of the conversations and we were doing more of like dealing with people, and then all of the AI tools that we were using were doing all the shitty data crunching stuff that we used to have to do. But now we don't do it anymore. So all of like the numbers and all the shit stuff that no one wants to do, the AI and stuff like takes care of all of that, and then we're actually the ones going out talking to clients, going and seeing things, going and you know doing the fun stuff. So I feel like people will still want to deal with people because I seen this with accounting, that people didn't want to talk to, they don't want to, if we just sent them a system and said, this system is going to do your stuff for you, they don't want to talk to a system. They want to talk to a person.
True.
So
because I think some people have this fear of the world that there will just be no more babies because everyone will just be sitting at home with their VR like porn that is just super realistic and no one would have sex with a real person, right? I don't think that's the case.
No, I don't think so.
For a lot of guys that are already watching porn and already not having sex are probably just going to switch to the more realistic porn. But I don't think it's going to be like this nihilistic view of the world where everyone is just going to be like sitting at home on porn.
Even you, like, I can't picture you being someone that's just going to lock himself away and just watch VR porn.
Not a chance.
Exactly.
Not a chance. Like even now, like I'm the type of guy that doesn't really enjoy porn that much. Like I would prefer to either use my imagination or like read. Obviously, I prefer the real thing. Like it's so different and more satisfying on so many different levels. So even if it got to the point right now tomorrow where I could wake up and I have like super realistic VR porn, there's a part of me that I just don't think it'll feel real, right? Like I'm missing a lot of that. So yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see where it goes.
And because people like personality and stuff like that. Like that's why OnlyFans is such a big thing. It's not because, I'm just following this random hot girl. It's I'm following this specific hot girl that I have a crush on or that whatever, or I knew her in high school or I just really like her vibe. And that's why OnlyFans does so well is because people are literally following like that girl specifically.
And there's like an interaction. You can actually communicate with them. You can request things. You can chat. You can like follow their content. So yeah, I agree. The question is like, is AI going to get to the point where you don't know it's AI though? Like what if you're following someone on an OnlyFans, it's all AI, it's chatting to you and you're not sure.
Well, you know what? I read something on, it was probably on Twitter again, where some guy posted this and he was messaging his lawyer or emailing his lawyer and he was writing the same thing to ChatGPT and the answers were exactly the same, and then he ended up firing. I think this was some famous person. He ended up firing his lawyer because his lawyer was clearly using like ChatGPT to answer these like questions. It was like literally like word for word the same. So he like literally would have been copying and pasting. And he's like, this is my lawyer that I'm like paying.
That
is just like answering me in ChatGPT.
I wonder how many jobs people are doing that now where they're just like,
one of our friends,
the
one that works at the bank. She says she uses that for like everything.
Oh, really? Yeah. It would not surprise me. There's
I
like
know,
this
and
period
she's
now.
working at a bank, bro.
Yeah, legit. There's a period now where I think like there's some people that know, but not everyone. And there's going to be this period of people just like abusing it for their work 100%.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, say I'm curious, Kat. Okay, let's go back to the AI for a second. Say we do have a situation where you can like program in and pick exactly what type of scenario you want. So you're picking like what the guy looks like, what type of sex you're having, like whatever it is. What would it look like for you?
Look, I think the one crucial thing that AI would be missing for me that I really need is money. Unless this AI is paying me, then it's not going to work.
That is so funny. Okay, so the AI comes in.
What's my well, actually I have two kinks. I have money kink and I have marriage kink. AI cannot do either of those things for me.
Okay, picture this. All right, picture this. AI bot comes in.
What, with like, money? This AI bot has money.
Because it's all virtual reality. He's like, what up, girl? And he's got like $100 bills just falling off his body.
But it's not real money.
And he's got like a wedding ring and he's like, hey, baby. He gets down on
but it's not real.
But what if?
No, it's not real. So that's pretend? The thing. Nah, like I need the money and I need the potential of marriage. I want to spend
the rest of my life with you. Please marry me.
Yeah, well, that's it. I need like the money and the future prospect of marriage.
So you wouldn't be able to imagine.
Well, yeah, because I guess it really just depends on like what kinks you're into. But like maybe for some people, if like depending on what kinks they're after. But like my two kinks are not like
AI can't provide it.
Yeah, AI cannot physically not provide me either of these two very crucial things that I need.
Unless you decide to get married to a robot.
Yeah, look, I think they're doing that in Japan now, to be honest.
Maybe you should move to Japan.
I tried. Did you ever hear about how I tried to move to Japan?
I didn't know this.
So when I was working in accounting, so my firm had like offices. It was quite a big firm, like without like naming names. It was like an international firm, and it had offices literally basically in every city of the world.
Okay.
And I always wanted to live in Tokyo, and I asked them like if I could apply for like a job in Tokyo, like if I could transfer there, like if that was possible. Do I have English speaking jobs there? And they said it is possible, but I would have to learn how to speak Japanese. And I was like, that just sounds way too difficult.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
It's a tough language.
Yeah. So they're like, we're more than happy to transfer you to anywhere you want, but you have to speak the language.
You could be
if I spoke Japanese, they would have sent me there and I would be living in Japan right now.
With a sex robot. That's
well, yeah. If I was working in Japan, I'd probably be working like 57 hours a day. So that's probably why they do that there. So they work so much.
Exactly.
Damn. All right. What kink would you build into your robot?
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a tough question. I'm probably gonna go. My first thought is definitely like a daddy little girl kink. Okay.
Why?
So it's sexy. Okay. It's like well,
I can say AI can do that. I guess.
Yeah. My little robot's gonna be like, "What's up, daddy?" And it's bends over. It's like I've been so naughty, and I grab like a virtual fucking cane and start like virtually spanking this AI bot.
But is it gonna have the same? Would you enjoy that? If you're not really inflicting pain, you're inflicting digital pain.
That's a good question. As long as it looks like the girl's getting punished and she's getting into like that subspace. But
there's no pain there. AI doesn't feel pain.
But they're going to pretend they do. Okay, you got to use your imagine it. Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna I'm trying as best as I can. But at the end of the day, I'll be like, fuck, this isn't real.
Yeah, but like this AI is not actually in pain.
Yeah, it's like, damn, this is gutting it for me. It's a good question. I guess like if I convince myself enough, it actually could be like super enjoyable. But I think you're right. At the end of the day, you always know. There's always going to be a piece of you being like, what am I doing here with my virtual reality glasses spanking the air?
Yeah, literally.
Someone walks in, I'm like, you like that?
Yeah, AI's probably laughing at you. Like they're probably enjoying it. AI's probably literally having a good old laugh, enjoying that.
Just imagine you walking in though, and I've got like a fucking virtual...
the headset on.
Yeah. Like, you're going to behave now?
Use a controller?
You're going to fucking listen? And you're like, Mark, what are you doing? What has happened to you? Mark, take the headset off. Yeah, okay. So anyway, that's the future we got to look forward to.
I've got a question about the mummy and daddy kink, actually. Because it's really not something that I'm into. Okay. I don't participate in. I don't like it.
Okay.
Why? Okay. Like, maybe this is me just being, like, ignorant, but, like, why do people like it? Like, do you have to have, like, if I'm a girl and I'm like, if I enjoy calling a guy daddy, like, is it exclusively girls with daddy issues?
No.
Or is there like more to it?
Yeah, there's more to it. The thing is, that's what a lot of people think. They just think that, okay, every girl that like enjoys a daddy kink has like daddy issues, which is not the case, especially in my personal experience. But usually it is the case that this dynamic usually is based around some form of dominance. So I kind of mentioned some elements of it there where I have the power, like that's the power exchange. The girl's more vulnerable, more submissive. And, either she's being well behaved and gets praise or, she's misbehaving and has punishment. There's elements of that. But essentially what it's creating is that power exchange. And that's what I particularly like. And it's usually what the girl likes. Now, there's different ways to obviously play that out and have fun with it. But that daddy little girl kink is one where, you can be the protector, the provider. You can have that display. And it's really nice. And I think a lot of girls like receiving that exchange as well.
Do you call girls mummy?
Never.
Okay.
Because it goes again, like that would mean I would be the more vulnerable, but I would be looking for the care. So for me personally, no. But yeah, for guys that do like that kink, again, it doesn't mean they have mummy issues. It can just mean they could have an amazing relationship with their female role model, their mother, and really, experience a lot of love from that. They really like to feel nurtured, to look after, and maybe they're looking for that in their girlfriend as well. So It's I know like when you add these labels, it can feel really like, what the fuck? That's creepy as shit. But when you like move back a little bit and you think, okay, why am I enjoying this? Why do these people like it? It's usually about that power exchange.
Yeah, I can't get around the daddy kink because I still like to this day call my dad daddy. Like I always have, and I never stopped. Like I'm 27 years old. When I say my dad, I'm like, daddy.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
like, I mean, yeah, that's still what I do. I'm an only child as well, so it's like it's just like me, my dad.
It's too close to home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So like when I hear it, I'm like,
what about if
someone
was like, what if you were with a Spanish guy and he's like puppy? He's like, call me puppy or some shit. Would you do that or no? Still
look, I don't know. It's less weird. Maybe I would try it.
Yeah.
And see, I don't think I've never called a guy a dad in like a different language. I mean, in my initial thoughts, he's like, maybe it sounds a little bit better, but then I don't know. Maybe if I was doing it, I'd be a bit like, I don't know.
That's fair.
So
has anyone ever called you mummy?
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So there was one time and I was just not about it. So like this guy on Twitter the other day, he reposted like one of my photos.
Yeah.
And he like captioned it mummy ? And I was not impressed. I just commented back saying no.
What did he say?
He's like, sorry. And then he's like, reposted it again
without it.
Yeah, we say with like a different caption, and I just commented. I was like, better.
Sounds like a very mummy thing to do, though.
Well, like, I feel like so some girls they like that kind of mummy kink. I think some girls really play into the mummy kink regardless of whether they're mothers or not. But I feel like I'm just not a very nurturing and motherly person. Like I feel like
you're like a boss bitch, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like with me being called mummy, like not that there's anything like wrong with like mothers, but I feel like it just to me makes me feel like something that I like. It makes me feel like something that I try very hard not to be. Like I try very hard to not be like a motherly housewifey person. I'm very, very like independent. I'm very like driven. I work a lot. It's like just me sort of thing. And then it's like, ooh,
and
mummy.
I don't think you'd probably be attracted to the guys looking for that either.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, like, no. Like I don't like submissive men. So like I have a guy coming up to you like, oh, mummy. I'd be like, oh my God, no, show me like, where's your money? How much do you make?
What's your job
I'm
again?
not paying for you. You're supposed to be paying for me.
Exactly. No, I understand. Yeah. It's going to be different with everyone. But same for me. Like if some girl was like, call me mommy or so shit, I was like, this is not for me. I'm not going to enjoy it whatsoever.
Have you ever accidentally brought a dominant girl home?
It's an interesting question. I've brought girls home that might identify as being dominant, but a lot of the time, like you got to realize if these girls have been with like, let's say 5 guys in their life and they're somewhat like inexperienced, you know, relatively speaking, then maybe with those 5 guys, they were dominant. Like maybe with those 5 guys, they did take the lead, they did take control. And so maybe that's what they're used to. And maybe when I ask, like, are you more submissive or dominant? They're like, I don't know. Yeah, I usually take control with the guys that I'm with. But then when they come home with me, I tend to be, let's say, hyper dominant. I tend to take a lot more of the control. And then they actually really enjoy being able to like let go and sit back like, oh, fuck, I've never experienced this before. This is amazing. So usually when girls tell me that they're dominant and they don't have much experience, I'm usually like, okay, let's wait and see. I doubt it. But I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever really had a case where I've taken home like a dominatrix, like a girl that is actually experienced, really likes being dom, like knows what she wants, like actually wants to type the guy, peg him, all of that. It's super rare to, I guess, find these girls. And then we usually don't have that much chemistry because it's kind of like fire with fire, like bumping heads because we're both trying to like be dominant essentially. So the attraction kind of fades if there wasn't any to begin with. So yeah, no, I haven't actually. I've never sort of got home. There's been like this weird power struggle. Sometimes girls are a little bit bratty and will test you in a way. But yeah, I've never had a girl that after sex was like, look, that was okay, but I'd prefer next time if I could be the one to take control. I've just never had that. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess that's lucky then. But I guess, you're really right. Like the girls that would be more dominant, they would probably portray that out in the wild. And that's, what you were saying. Like it just wouldn't click.
Yeah. Have you ever had guys that have said to you, like, I just want you to like fucking dominate the shit out of me? You get that?
Oh my God. So I had this one client.
Yeah.
He did say, like when we were like conversing about the booking, he's like, oh, I'd like you to be a bit more dominant. And I was like, oh, okay, because I don't really, so dom work, and I really like to make this distinction because it's like, all parts of sex work are very different. Like just because you do stripping or just because you do OnlyFans or escorting or whatever, that doesn't mean you can do everything in the sex industry well. Like you might be really good at one thing, not so good at other things. So I mean, I've never tried stripping and even OnlyFans. Like I'm not very good at that. Like I'm great at escorting. So, but dom work is that it's its own separate thing. And a lot of people think like escorts and doms are like the same thing. They do the same thing. No, they're completely different categories. Yeah. So I almost never get dom requests because they're in like a different section on the ads. Like there'll be BDSM fetish providers because you need to be experienced in things like how to do that. Like there's a lot of
impact play.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of these guys probably aren't even fucking a lot of the time. They're just going for that experience of being domed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And there's other things as well. Like even to like, I guess, pee on someone or whatever, like there's obviously strategies on how to like build it up. And so like there's a lot that goes into it. And like I would say that dom work, like it would be very hard. It's not for me. But yeah, so I have this one guy is like, I want you to be a bit more dominant. And I was like, oh, can you tell me kind of what you mean by that? Because I'm not a dom, but like I can be a little bit more dominant in the bedroom. And he's like, oh, like, a bit of, maybe just a bit of slapping, choking, just like light stuff. And I was like, okay, like that I can do. I'm like, I don't know how good I will be. So I laid it to him straight. I was like, this is not what I do normally. I've never done anything like this. I can try. I don't know if I'll be doing it how you want it to be done, but we can give it a go if you want, or like, now that I'm telling you this, happy for you to go and see somebody else. I can refer you like to some people if you want. Yeah. He's like, no, it's fine. Like I want it to be you. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then, so he came and like, he wanted me to just do like he was so lovely, but like I had to like choke him and like slap him and like spit on him, and he's like, I want you to like call me names, and it was
like so degrading names.
Yeah, he wanted me to really degrade him, like call him like a piece of shit. And oh my God, it was one of the hardest bookings I've ever done. Like I was almost like wanted to cry, but I was trying to like be like so mean. I was like, like hitting him.
It's like, I'm so mean and tough.
And like when he was saying something, I'm like, no, shut up. Like, and I'm like, oh, slap him. And I was like, oh my, and he was like, sorry, mistress. And I was like, oh God.
Oh, that is awesome. I was like, I can't do it. That is awesome.
So that was a very interesting, but he was a lovely guy though. And he was very, he was very, like, how should I say, like, because like there was a few times where I was like a bit like, oh, is that okay? Yeah. Like, am I doing it okay? Like I had to kind of stop to just be like, because I don't, like, see, I'm not a trained professional. I don't know what to do if like, how do I tell if a client is actually enjoying it or if I'm actually like making them upset?
Especially because he wants to fall into that space. Like he wants to express how much he hates it. But if you're sitting there as like the provider being the dom and you see someone hating you, you're like, oh fuck, is this too much?
Oh, is that a real no?
Like, exactly.
So that was I don't even remember what the question was. But anyway, so that was my story with that.
I like it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever done it again?
No, it was just, no, I haven't. So it was just that one time. Yeah, he was a lovely guy and he was quite patient with me. So that's probably nice. A good little introduction to it. It's not for me, though. Fair. It's not for me. Yeah.
So, Kat, talking about kinks and things people are into, all right, I need to get your opinion on this because it's getting cold here in Sydney, okay? We're losing our tans and I've got a couple of friends using solariums. They're trying to go out to the park in like the middle of the day, taking their shirt off in fucking winter. But question, what do you think about tan lines?
Oh my God, so gross.
Yeah, you don't like them, right?
I'm not about tan lines. Okay. But I know that I've had this debate with a few people and I know that some girls this is like even friends of mine, they would deliberately make tan lines. Yes. Like on purpose.
Exactly. Apparently some people just love tan lines. They find it like super sexy, right?
Yeah. No, some guys do. Who is it? Who's like, it's one of the guys on the radio. It's either, I don't know if it's Mikey or if it's Kyle Sandilands. It's one of them two are always talking about how much they love tan lines. Might be Mikey. I don't get it either because to me, it looks messy. Yeah. It's like you have put zero effort in the color of your body.
Exactly. I maybe understand how some guys might like it because maybe you see the contrast. So you see how like, it seems extra tan compared to like what they were or something. I'm trying to rationalize it somehow. But to me, when a girl is like the one tone and she takes like her bra off and her titties are tanned, okay? Big fan of tan titties. Okay, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I'm not going to bring them out on here, but the color that I am, my boobs are the exact same color.
Amazing. I love it. I think it's great. But some people, they're into the whole
Look, I think it looks messy. And I feel like when you see a naked body and it's all the one color, it's like this person has put in effort into like making their body the one color. I feel like it is. It's like, oh, wow, that's so much.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
you went out
to the
naked
effort.
somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You were exposed to the sun somewhere naked. That's kind of hot to me. That's the effort you put in. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. So everyone listening, get rid of those tan lines.
Yeah,
I say
I'm
that as a
them.
man with tan lines. Okay, I've got.
The worst is like this. You know, the men always get like the sock tan lines or like the t-shirt ones.
Singlet tan line. Yeah,
I just feel like nothing looks worse than like white tits or a white ass, especially like the white triangle tits. You know, when you just got like the triangle there.
Yeah.
Oh,
see, I've just got the underwear tan lines.
Yeah,
because when I go out of tan, usually I'm just wearing underwear. I've not yet gone to the getting naked tan.
I feel like that's doable. Like I don't like it. Like I'd rather obviously nothing there. But like whenever I'm sunbaking, I will even if I'm at the beach, I will take my top off because I'm like these boobs are not going to be white.
Yeah, I don't
know if you remember when we were on sale.
I think I'm going to go to jail if I try.
When we were on sale, do you remember? Like the people that were on our boat with us, there was only like 6 people on the boat that weren't our friends, and every day they would come up and I would just be topless naked, at the top, and they were just like, "Oh, sorry, I'll come back later." I'm like, "Oh, it's fine, you can sit here."
Just my titties.
Take a seat. I don't want white tits, so I just sit down, and they were just like, these are like the young boys that were on our boat, and they were just sitting in the corner. They were like 18, and they're just like sitting there, and it's just my tits. They've probably never even seen tits in their life.
So true.
We're just like sitting there.
That's hilarious. These guys are just probably like, "Oh my god." They probably can't even make eye contact with you. Like, I'm so sorry.
You're not just there like that.
That's awesome. All right, but it's worth it. 10 titties.
Speaking of like things being hot or not, this is another debate.
That's what we should call this episode. Hot or not.
Hot or not. Yeah, so true. Yeah, tan lines hot or not. Not very not. So another thing. Hot or not? Okay, this. There is so much debate about this. Like I guess in the escort world and even with clients and stuff like that, no one can come to a consensus on it. Lingerie versus naked.
Oh, okay. I've got some expert opinions about to come at you. Okay, when it comes to lingerie or naked. All right, you ready for this?
Hit me.
I think lingerie is somewhat overrated for men. I think women love lingerie. I think women appreciate other girls' lingerie. I think they love buying lingerie. I think they love putting it on. It makes you feel super sexy. For a lot of guys, I think we like the effort. Okay, when I see a girl in lingerie, I'm like, okay, she got that for me. She's trying to look sexy for me. That's like, I find that really attractive. And obviously it's like flattering. But at the end of the day, if I'm lying in bed and you're walking into my room, I would prefer you to be fucking naked. Okay, that looks better to me and a lot less work getting off than you in your lingerie. Okay, that's the way I see it. I think a lot of guys see it that way. But I'm curious to know your thoughts and your experience with lingerie.
Yeah, so some clients will request like lingerie. They're like, I just want you naked.
Oh, they just straight up tell you.
Yeah, so some clients just say, just don't even bother with the lingerie. Like I don't want it.
Okay.
Yeah, so some will just straight up say it.
Yeah.
Or just whenever I'm in, so I always do wear lingerie to like my bookings, but like it always only stays on for like 0.1 second. I've never had a client. Or maybe I can probably count on one hand the clients that have wanted me to keep a piece of lingerie on while we're doing the deed. They want it all off. Pretty much within 2 seconds, they just rip it off me.
Do they appreciate the lingerie? Like
look,
when
I
you
don't
walk in there,
know. I'll be honest, I don't know. I think some do.
Yeah.
But like it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Now let me see what you look like naked. Like that's it. And
interesting.
I've even had like a few guys as well, like even tell me like guys that I've been seeing or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, do you want to put some lingerie on? And they're like, nah.
Nah, don't bother. Just come over naked.
Yeah, just get naked.
Typical guys, just get naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and also like fucking with it on. I've fucked girls on with lingerie before, but then I'm like, I feel like the girls are worried about it getting ruined because lingerie is usually like pretty expensive, right? So sometimes I'm like just grabbing and I'm fucking like, they're like, oh, hang on, careful. And I'm like, all right, just take it off then, okay? If you don't want me to fucking ruin your lingerie, just take it off.
I actually never thought about it getting ruined, but yeah, that's a good point. Like it probably could.
Okay, do you want a controversial take?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, God.
All right, ready?
What?
Do you know what I think is sexier than being naked or lingerie?
What?
All right, just pajamas, okay? Just a nice set of just lazy pajamas. Put your fucking hoodie on. I find that, I don't know why. I don't know. Guys, let me know if this is just me or if you guys feel the same way. But there's something really sexy about a girl just looking like comfortable and like chill and just in some like warm pajamas, come to bed. For me, that turns me on. Like if you had a girl either walk in with like the most expensive fucking lingerie or just a hoodie or like an oversized shirt, I'm picking that every day of the week. I find that super attractive.
Yeah, look, I think there is some appeal. Like, okay, the pajamas is probably like an interesting one, but I think there is some appeal in just like casual clothes. Because I would probably say 9 times out of 10. Oh, okay, maybe 8 times out of 10. I would say majority of the time, my clients want me to wear activewear.
Oh, okay.
But like obviously that's to the booking. Like if I'm like or like getting them or whatever, they want me in activewear. I always get requested for activewear. All the time.
I wonder why that is. See, for me, activewear is like, meh. Like, it's not a thing.
But I guess
There's
it would be similar
pajamas,
to lingerie. It's comfy.
Yeah, I guess
it's tight. You can see everything. Whereas if I'm in a dress, you probably can't see that much, depending on the dress, maybe. Or if I'm in jeans, it's a little bit. It's not as hugging. Whereas in activewear, it's just I don't know. But a lot of guys they like activewear.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's flattering to the body too.
It is.
Right?
It is very flattering.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean,
I wouldn't have guessed that if you said to me, "Yo, what's like my biggest request of things to wear when I'm coming to book it?" Like activewear wouldn't have been on my list. I wouldn't.
Would you have told me to come in? So if you let's just say you're booking me to
wear an oversized shirt, okay, maybe a hoodie.
Really?
That's how. Yeah.
And would you say bring lingerie or not?
Nah, fuck it.
Would you say like don't bother with the lingerie?
Yeah, don't bother. I mean, the lingerie are nice. Like, say I'm dating a girl or seeing a girl, if she like surprises me one time, like she rocks up wearing like lingerie, or if we're going on a date, right? Say we're just going to dinner, like before coming to mine, and she wears like lingerie underneath her clothes without saying anything, and so she's wearing it the whole time at the date. Like that as well is kind of like the psychological, like she's putting in like this. She's putting in this effort to like try to be sexy for me. I think that's kind of nice, but otherwise,
yeah,
pajamas.
Yeah, I guess. Most girls. I know, like most girls will agree with me. I think it was. I don't know if it was me or if it was another girl that did like a poll on Twitter, and it was like, to what extent of lingerie do you wear to like bookings? Because there's like different
levels of how heavy we're going.
Because it's like you could just do the undies and the bra, or you could do like the full clips or a corset. Yeah, exactly. Stockings and all that, heels. I went all out probably for my first booking. I did the clips and I had the harness thing and the stockings, the heels and everything. It all stayed on for 0.1 seconds.
You're like, what was the point?
From that day onwards, bra and undies is it. I don't even bother buying like the little, what's it called? Like a harness? Or, no, not a harness. The waist bit. I don't even bother even buying those anymore. I literally just buy the undies and the bra and that's
easy.
It. I just
What about what do you find attractive in a guy? Like if a guy was to come into the bedroom, like do you care what he's wearing or going on a date? Like is there something particular for you that you find really sexy on a guy? Like I know a lot of women say suits.
Yeah, I would say suit.
Yeah, okay.
Because that symbolizes money to me.
Okay,
like,
back to the job.
Because I'll be able to tell how expensive that suit is.
I'd love to see a guy just rock up,
and that's just. I feel like that's just such a boss thing for guys to wear because, like, not many guys are walking around wearing suits.
That's true.
So when you see a guy and he's in a nice suit, it's like, oh, you're important to be walking around in a suit.
I get you.
Yeah,
suits,
like,
there you go.
I've only ever seen you in a suit once.
It was good though. Right? Yeah, I'm not a suit guy. I prefer to like be more casual.
Yeah, you look so nice in that suit.
Yeah,
you should wear it more often.
That's true.
You never will.
I keep getting told that, but I'm like, never again.
Yeah.
If I don't have to wear a suit, I'm not fucking putting it on.
Yeah,
t-shirt for me.
All right. Should I save the sex fact for last? We have something that we spoke about from last week. Last week. We're doing general reviews. What do you mean?
The funniest, where's my phone? The funniest thing was we both rocked up and forgot to take a photo. So we had this awkward moment of like, I'll be back in a sec. I'm just going to quickly take a photo.
It was a lot more harder for you because, all right, so yeah, for everyone, I don't know if you've listened to last week's episode, but last week's episode, we decided that this week we were going to rate each other's genitals.
So this is a service that Kat has.
Well, I do dick ratings, and then we were talking about what makes a pretty vagina, and then Mark had the lovely idea of, hey, let's just rate each other's genitals next week.
Exactly.
And yeah, so Mark literally came here, and I was like, oh, Mark, now you're going to have to make yourself hard in the bathroom.
Exactly. I was like, I'll be right back.
Oh, I know. That would have been really awkward for you. At least for me, I just like had to like lift my legs up a bit. Like that was weird.
All right, we'll do the reveal at the same time.
Oh, God, I'm scared.
I'll be nice.
I took a few photos. Now I have to pick
There's
a good
few
one.
Different angles. Okay.
Yeah,
I've picked my best angle for
you. Okay. Now I'm trying to pick which one is like the best one. Oh, is it this one or is it this one?
I'll go through and have a look.
No,
I'll check. All right. Let's go, Kat.
Oh, okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm joking. That's not me. Kat.
What am I looking at? What the fuck?
I just Googled very unattractive penis on Google.
I was so confused. I was like, that is so pixelated too.
All right, that's me.
Oh. That is in my bathroom.
That is, yeah.
Hmm.
All right,
You are circumcised. Are you? You are. You are, yeah.
Lock in your final decision.
I need to zoom in.
Zoom
is that? I can't tell if that's just pulled back foreskin or if that's or if it's cut. It looks cut to me.
Okay. So your final answer.
Oh God, yeah.
Dude, every single girl thinks I'm circumcised.
Oh, you're not. But you said the other week that you were. So
no, I didn't say I was. I said wait and see next week. Because I
feel like I've been looking at this for an awkwardly long time.
I didn't want to give it any away. I wanted you to guess.
Because I can see your hand in comparison to it. So that's pretty good length.
Thank you very much.
And it's nice and straight.
Thank you.
Which I like. It's not too veiny.
Okay.
Okay, you are a point deducted for not being nicely groomed.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But you didn't know. Look, I will give him that because he didn't know. I feel like I've just been looking at this for way too long. Yeah, I'm going to have to deduct a point for that. And I mean, it looks nice and clean.
Okay.
Especially considering this was a very last minute.
I'm always clean. But yeah, the circumcised thing. Every single girl, like I've had girls literally after sex be like, I'm so glad you're circumcised. I find it disgusting when guys aren't cut. I could never do it. It's the grossest thing ever. And I'll be like, bitch, I've still got a little bit of foreskin, okay? Like,
well, you have one of the foreskins that you can pull it all the way back. So some guys do have that. So
I have this sounds weird talking about, I have very little foreskin. I don't know why, but it's like very little. So when I get hard, it's all taut.
Yeah. Like so some guys are like that. So some guys like it. The foreskin doesn't go back at all. So you can even when it's hard, it's still like at the top, and you can very much like see it's like still like a surprise thing. But there are like guys that are like you where it tricks me as well sometimes because it goes all the way back and it kind of just looks like it.
And so it's hilarious having girls.
Okay, are you just all right? Okay, well now are you going to compliment my vagina?
I'm just zooming in. Actually, I'm just getting a better view. Okay, so I feel like this is like a fine wine tasting. All right.
You are looking at a fine wine, basically.
First of all, we're just talking about tan lines. 0 tan lines to be seen. Okay, you not only have tan titties, you have a tan pussy. Okay, this is impressive. I don't know how you managed to do this, but it's like the one color. It's like very impressive. Okay.
I didn't muck around. I was being serious.
Okay. We talked about labia last week. Okay. So preferences, lips. You have some very nice little tight lips. Okay.
I wasn't lying. Yeah.
Yeah. It's and it looks like soft and smooth as well. You're like you're like lazy. Yeah. I was gonna say you look completely lazy. But even like your like vulva itself, it doesn't. It looks like tight in a way, right? Like I'm looking at this and it's a tight pussy is what I'm thinking, right? So
was I lying? See, how many times have I said I've got a nice?
I don't think I can take away any point. I don't know. This is like we rating out of 7 is like a 7 out of 7. I don't think I can deduct anything. I feel like now I'm looking awkwardly too long. Actually, this is.
I know. I had to put yours away because I was like, I feel like this is an inappropriate amount of time.
7 out of 7. By the way, I love your face when I first showed you that picture.
Yeah, come on, that's a nice vagina.
That is actually. That should go on a fucking cover or something.
Have I? See now, Mark can vouch for me every time I say on this show that I've got a great vagina.
Yeah,
I'm not lying.
It's true. It's been proven. 7 out of 7. Okay. So if anyone wants a dick rating, or fuck it, if you've got a pussy and you want a pussy rating, go to Kat's OnlyFans.
No, I'll just forward it to you.
Okay, fair. Yeah, fair. Forward it to me. I'll give a rating.
Well, you can send them into my OnlyFans and I'll show them to Mark next time I see him if you want to mark.
Exactly. If
pussy rating.
Yeah, we'll do it. Okay.
Well, okay, so we're both. I was just going to close with we're both thoroughly impressed with the other ones.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, well done.
well done to you too, actually.
Yeah. Well, I have a friend where her partner will say like, fuck, I love your pussy so much during sex. She's like, thanks, I grew it myself. And I'm like, oh my God. But it was funny. Okay, let's go to my favorite segment, Sex Fact of the Week.
All right. My sex fact of this week is people with better sense of smell have better orgasms.
People with better sense of smell have... interesting. Do you have a good sense of smell?
No, but I have great orgasms.
So,
do you?
I have a really bad sense of smell.
You don't orgasm much though, do you? Because you practice tantra.
No, yeah.
But when you do orgasm, is it like, from what I understand from men, there's like different, kind of like similar to girls, there's like different levels of orgasms, or it can be like just a whatever, and then it can be like really good.
No, of course. Yeah. It's exactly, I wouldn't say exactly the same, but very similar in the fact that there's going to be some times where I was like, fuck, that felt incredible and amazing. And other times where you're like, oh, whatever. So, but yeah, I'm trying to think, sense of smell is so interesting. I wonder how they figured this out. Like they got people to like smell things, tell them what they want, gave them an orgasm, was like, how good was that orgasm?
Yeah, that's so true. Like how did they even think to compare those things? Well, yeah, because I have really good orgasms, and I orgasm very easily too, which a lot of girls can't do. A lot of girls can't even like orgasm from like penetration. So it's like I have no problem with that, but my sense of smell is terrible. But I guess it maybe does. No, actually, it doesn't make sense.
Maybe we need to go into these studies more often. We'll be like, Cam, what about us? Okay, what is it? My sense of smell is shit.
Yeah, so is mine. Literally, it is.
We'll prove you wrong, but that's super interesting. Okay, let us know, guys. How is your sense of smell? And do you think you have good orgasms? Right? Yeah. Maybe we're having really shit orgasms. We don't know it. Maybe that's the thing.
Nah, surely not.
Nah, of course not. We know. We
would know because I've had not so good ones, and I knew like
we know the difference.
And then I've had orgasms where like I couldn't even walk or like talk, and
that
I'm like,
sounds like a good orgasm.
Yeah, exactly.
When you start talking lispers, like exactly.
Yeah, like that one.
Yeah, when you get into comas and shit, this is where you know.
Yeah, there's literally there've been a few times where I like can't walk. It's like I'm a vegetable.
There you go. It's a good orgasm.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kat. Thanks everyone for watching. Did you want to plug anything or anything coming up?
Thanks guys for listening. You can follow the show if you want to see more from us, especially some behind the scenes and bonus footage as well on our TikTok and Instagram. It's at Kat and Mark Show. That's it. Do you have anything coming up in the pipeline?
No, fun times.
Yeah.
See us on the socials.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Bye guys. Bye-bye.